All right, what's up, everyone? Boss and the Brewer, episode number 61. Bit of a big day today. Bit of news, and the boss man Hendo is coming in right now. Oh, I think I've been a bit sunburnt. Whoops. Sun sucks. All right. Where are you, Hendo? I got a thing saying he was online. What's happening? There he is. Wonder where he is. Field tripping or no? Let's see the lighting situation. Okay, we're dark. Hello.
It's dark. It's very dark. Let me fix that. Hang on a second. No? Maybe.
No, that's good.
I've changed the background lights, as you can see, to a nice supple blue, but I think I need to turn them down a bit.
Did you say supple or subtle?
Yes.
Okay. You're all dressed up. What's the go with this polo shirt situation?
I come out of class. I was in class today.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I there we go. No, don't turn them off.
Oh wow, this is cool.
I was in class today and did the old safety session today. So yeah.
Very important.
It's important. It's a bit of a reality check and for all of the students and I do that chat with every new cohort that starts and that sort of thing. And it's just really just talking about, my experience and all the major workplace accidents and stuff like that. And, that I've seen in breweries and that sort of thing. And it's important that people know. And the one that I talk about is making a pressure relief valve on a tank go. It's pretty safe to do in a little 250 litre tank. And people get a real very quick respect for pressure in vessels and stuff like that. So it's good.
I
won't give too much away because I've got to do it again with the part-time group. So.
Oh, okay. Then mate, listen. I used some of your safety advice the other day because I had to clean out my pool before I filled it with water, and it was filled with dirt and shit, and I had to figure out how to get it all out of there. And then the instructions was like, give it an acid bath, and I'm like, fucking hell, I've got to be careful with this. So I bought safety glasses, bought gloves, and then I was like, I should get boots because I don't want to get acid on my feet. But then I remember you telling me you don't wear boots in the brewery because if you get acid in the boots, it just burns the fuck out of your feet.
No. You always wear boots in the brewery. You just don't wear shorts with boots.
Well, I was wearing shorts, so that was a given. It's fucking 35 degrees.
Well, this is a common thing that happens in a lot of breweries is that, like, especially up here in Queensland, it's really, really hot. And I don't care how hot it gets. I won't wear shorts in a brewery.
That's fine, but I'm not wearing long pants in my pool in the backyard and
with acid,
sunshine and with acid. That was not happening. So I skipped the boots.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought I was taking your advice. It sounds like I wasn't really.
No, not really. Have you got a beer?
Yes. I need some education on these beers because these beers were lovingly dropped off to me and then hopefully sent. Did you get your hands on some?
No.
For fuck's sake. You had one job.
I know. I did the job. I went to Black Ops 3 and spoke to Jim and we tore the cold room apart and they weren't there. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, so
right.
I had one job.
It's okay. I can go back. So you can defer that beer if you want to drink it together.
No,
next week.
That's all I got. So I'm going to have to.
Okay. Well, just shut up and drink it then.
No, I will. All right. So we got the Social Brewers Striders Session Ale to kick things off.
Excellent.
From one of the 12.
That was sent up to us from one of the 12, which was Bo Curtis from the Social Brewers in Sydney. Bo's a client of mine, and when he sort of messaged me and said, "Oh, I'm going to send some beers up and that sort of thing," I said, "Might drink them on the show if you like." He goes, "Yeah, that's all right." I said, "Mate, I'll give my honest opinion. You're all right with that?" And he goes, "Yeah, of course, that's fine." So big ups to Bo for just being ballsy to just send some beers and have us drink them on the show and just be completely honest. I think that's great.
That is great. So okay, so I thought that they were in Brisbane. Like Riley took them up yesterday. So something's happened. He might have forgotten. He doesn't forget many things, but okay. I apologize for that.
No, that's okay. It's not your fault, mate. It's just
Um,
bloody Riley.
so tell me more about the social
I was
brewers.
in the cold room, and there was all the delivery for the week, all cartons and kegs and all that sort of stuff. And Jim was very, very helpful. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
And we went through a few times. Just couldn't find them. I'm sure they're there. We just didn't find them. We
Yeah,
tried
it was
hard.
actually a bit of bad luck because when I went to the cold room yesterday, um, they were doing a deep clean and everything had been pulled out of the cold room and everything was stacked while they were cleaning the cold room. So we had to like dig through a few levels, and I was like, "Well, that one down there, make sure that one goes to Brisbane." It was like, I feel like there's a lot of things that could go wrong here.
Yeah, that's all right.
So tell me about the brew company.
Well, Bo Curtis is related to another one of the 12. So that's basically a sixth of the 12, which is Wade Curtis.
6 of the 12, yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Sixth
that
of the
guy.
12. And and so he started a brewery down in Sydney. It's supposed to be very, very much a family social enterprise and that sort of thing. Not particularly, I don't think it's particularly big. I've seen a few photos of it, but
It's a physical brew. They're making their own beer.
yes,
there?
yeah, 100%, yeah.
Nice.
How's the beer?
It's pretty good. I'm noticing that the cans I've seen with these cans. I think these are the ones that get printed by East Coast. So they print
Through
cans,
their machine,
and
yeah.
so they're a little bit. You get like little chips and. Well, actually, I'm assuming that's what this is. It might not be, but you get little chips and stuff in the can.
Yeah.
Fun design. The bit. Look at that. It looks fucking good.
That looks great.
You got to get a photo if you're not.
Oh shit. Yeah. Hang on. Okay.
Does your Android phone enable you to take photos, or is that not a feature?
Shut up, Dan. Awesome. Too easy,
Dude,
man.
that was not. I can see how much of an angle that's on. That's. It's good.
Oh, good.
That's the 4.5% Strider's session ale. I like the little strut they got going on there. And
yeah, good beer.
Great beer, better shared. Beautiful color. Tastes good.
I've got a beer, and I've been looking forward to this one.
What do you got?
Let me pour it just a second. I have been really looking forward to this one. I have got the Helios Classic Series German Pilsner.
Nice. I just did a screenshot.
Oh, cool.
Nailed it.
How's my hair? Look at that.
Amazing.
Look at
that glass as well. Let me screenshot that glass. Do that again. That's dog shit. Okay. Well, look, the beer looks good. The glass is terrible. Look,
even though look at this, right? Even though my glass is completely fucking dirty, it's still got foam. Look at it.
That's true.
That's it. That's a good beer. All right, let's do this. I spoke to Jake about this the other day, and he's very excited about this beer. So that got me very excited.
Okay.
Oh, yep. That's very good. That is very good. Very bitter. What's happening on the bitterness? Probably not as much as you would like if it's going to be it's a very bitter Pilsner. It's very drinkable. Nothing wrong with it. Seems to be skewed a little bit towards the bitterness as opposed to a little bit of, maybe some Hallertau hop flavor or something like that. But man, that's a minor critique. That's a bloody good beer. Nice. That definitely passes the 2-pint rule. Probably
very
passes
good.
the
Same as this
7.
one. This is really fucking good. That's a delicious beer. The color of that is phenomenal.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's like a pack ale.
It's amazing.
Very good. What's happening? What's happening with you? Anything happening?
Nah, no, nothing really. Anyway, good talk, good chat tonight, mate. We'll catch you next week.
No, I mentioned I've only got an hour on the dot tonight because we've got a barbecue happening and it's a bit of chaos here, but there's a few things to chat about.
We should probably address the elephant in the room, eh?
What's that one?
The ballistic thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see? So I saw a post in Barron's today. It must have been from a staff member. Just said, "How good's voluntary administration?" And and then it was like, "What is happening?" And he was like, "Figure out where I work, and you'll figure it out." That's the first time I saw it, and then that was deleted.
Right. Yeah, okay.
That was deleted, and then you messaged me, and then we saw the news on Crafty Pint. So
yeah. Very sad news. To be fair, it's that's two in Southeast Queensland in the last few months, man.
Yeah, I mean we've said it on here before. It's a fucking tough industry. There's a lot of things going against breweries at the moment, and this is going to happen.
Yeah, so it's really, I it's obviously very stressful for everybody involved. Like the staff, David Kitchen, the other shareholders who started the business, and all that sort of thing. It's immensely stressful, but as I've said before, when this sort of thing happens, this doesn't just pop up overnight, right? It's always a very, very slow train wreck that ultimately leads to somebody signing the paperwork to kick off the voluntary administration or liquidation stuff and that sort of thing.
Do you know much about what that means? Because
yes,
that confuses me. Like, I remember when the Easy Times thing happened, I messaged them. I was like, "Fuck, let me know if you need anything," and they seemed pretty chilled about the whole thing. I messaged Dave Kitchen today. I don't know much from just a text message, but he, like the way they speak about it is it's kind of like a process they go through. It's not like the end of the business. And
no, it's not. So basically, voluntary administration is an opportunity for a business to restructure itself, restructure its balance sheet, to be able to come out the other side and continue on as a business. So basically, look, this is not voluntary administration advice.
This is not VA advice. No.
But basically how it works is you go to an administrator. An administrator can do administrations or liquidations and all that sort of stuff, right? And so what happens is the directors of the company hand over control of the company to the administrator, right? So they're no longer directors. They can't make any decisions about the business. They can't spend any money. They're not allowed to make any agreements on behalf of the business, nothing. Yeah. Right? They're along for the ride, and that's it.
Right.
All right. And so what happens is the administrator will reach out to all of the creditors of the business, so all of the people who that business owes money to.
Yeah.
And they'll usually call a creditors meeting. And people who are creditors will have to register themselves with the administrator, and at the same time, there would be quite a bit of negotiation probably happening in the back end. Maybe there's someone who's prepared to invest in the business, maybe sees some opportunity,
buy out some of the debt or something,
to buy it low and that sort of thing. And maybe it's buy out the debt. Maybe it's something else. And so basically, it's a bit of a negotiation between So the thing is that the administrator can make lots of decisions, including selling shares to other people.
Yeah,
right? And that you don't get a choice over and that sort of thing. And so, for example, let's say I had a significant amount of money. I could approach the administrator of Ballistic and say, "Hey, I've got a lot of money. I see some, value in this business. I'll give you this money, right? And I want a such and such equity in the business." And the administrator might take that on board and go, and his obligation is to act in the best interest of the business and the creditors as well. In some respects.
This is what I don't understand. Like, isn't that also the job of the current directors? And they've also got that power, and it's just very fucking difficult to do.
No. So when you have an administrator, right? The difference, I mean, I guess any director of the business could approach any creditor and renegotiate debts and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, and they can sell. They can sell shares if they're in the constitution to sign off a board resolution.
Yeah, they could.
To sell shares.
Yeah, they could do that, right? Yeah, they could. Of course, they could do that. But the thing is that what the administrator does then is they call a meeting of the creditors, right?
Yeah,
and by that time, the administrator's usually got a rough idea as to what's going to happen with the business. He'll either decide, I've got such and Hendo over here with his deep pockets, and he's going to put some money into the business, and you're all going to get paid your full amount or this many cents in the dollar and all that sort of stuff. And they get an opportunity to negotiate. Maybe they want to trade their debt for equity or something like that. Depends, There's so many things that can happen, right? In that point.
But is it like how does the business, like, how do the people go through this, remain chilled about it? Like, is the ultimate outcome that, because this happened at Easy Times, and I put a thing on Instagram. I was like, oh, this, I feel for these guys, like, support them, go in, grab a beer. And I got a few messages back from people who obviously Easy Times owed them money. And they were like, don't support them. Like, they owe us money, which I fucking understand as well, because it's just kicking the can further down the road. Like what happens to the creditors, especially the small ones? Like, do they just not get their money back? And then
depends.
And then the company comes out of VA, and
it depends. Trading. Like the administrator could decide it's in the best interest of the business to wind it up and liquidate it.
Right.
Right. And yeah, that could well be.
So is it more just but directors can decide that too? So was it just getting some experience in who've dealt with this shit before?
Anyone. So if a director, like in most brewing businesses, the directors are the shareholders, right? So when I chose to, liquidate my business, there was no coming back from that, right? There was no way of going into voluntary administration.
Why?
It just was. There was no assets, mate. There's no money.
Yeah. So you didn't think of calling in a VA. You're just like, the finances don't add up, I'm out.
It was never gonna. No, it wasn't that. It was just that was it. It was never gonna bounce back. There was no assets in the business.
There was assets. You had the brand and.
Yeah. So but that went to the landlord of the bar and all that sort of stuff, and the debts far outweighed the assets and stuff like that. And I ended up paying personally a lot of the debts, over subsequent period and that sort of thing. No, to be fair, the day my business went into liquidation, that was a massive load off. Massive load off. It was just like I no longer had to stress about what was going to happen next because it was no longer in my control. Yeah.
That's what I wonder about. That's what this process feels like. It's kind of like,
for some of the people, it's going to be, there will be a sense of relief. I think there's going to be some shareholders that are going to get the bone.
What does that mean?
What they're going to get shafted,
right?
I would say
shareholder, but like if the message is like, we're doing this to fix the balance sheet, the only thing that means is that the money they owe to other people is not going to get paid to those people. That's how you
not necessarily, right? Okay,
so or they get more money in.
Let's have a look at the specifics around Ballistic, right? So they need to raise some cash because they've got some creditors to pay. They're not allowed. It's illegal to trade while you're insolvent, right? Yeah. That's another thing why you call in a voluntary administrator. Yeah. You go to fucking jail for that shit, mate. If you trade while you're insolvent, you got to step out, right? Yeah. And that's when an administrator steps in, right? So if you have a look at the Ballistic business, right? Let's have a look at that, right? So they've got their main brewery in Salisbury. They've got the bar in West End. They've got the pub in Springfield. They've got the Bargara Brewery, and they've got the Airlie Beach Brewery.
Yeah, they went nuts buying shit, didn't they?
Well, exactly, right? Plus, they went through the scenario of all of that product recall. Now, I don't know what that cost them or anything like that.
No, I think that's a big part of it. I think
it had to be a big part of it.
Yeah,
I just don't. You can get insurance for that. Whether they are insured for it, I don't know. That's speculation.
Insurance is so fucking expensive. It's
especially for things like recalls and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And so so there are these assets that could be sold to raise money. right, to pay debts.
I mean, are they
Right?
profitable businesses though? Like a lot of those things?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter
Right?
because you can't sell something. You can't sell
Well,
an
it's
asset which
got
is
it's
worth
but it's
something.
not worth nothing. Right?
Might be. They might be.
Well, exactly. So that's the point. So the administrator can go, right, we're selling that, and that, and we're going to make these staff changes. We're going to cut our wage bill, all that sort of stuff, and away you go. Right?
Yeah.
So that's possibility. So, they've got all these satellite venues. Maybe they were doing well, maybe not. Who knows? And so the administrator could choose to sell those assets, which I think's pretty likely. I would imagine
that's fine that that's likely, but I just
someone could also.
Can I just say, like, if this business is, if this business is at the point where it's hiring voluntary administrators, like those assets are probably not performing very well, and they're probably as a result of that, they're probably not worth much. That'd be a fair guess, right? They're probably not worth much.
Sure, but they're not worth nothing, so it's worth selling them.
They might be worth nothing. I mean, it's pretty easy to buy a bar.
Yeah, of course. But then at the same time, there might be someone waiting at the wings with some money ready to inject into the business as well.
Yes, and they might be looking for a bargain and be like, "We'll buy this debt out, and I'll take this chunk of equity." And
well, exactly. And so what can happen is you have a meeting with the creditors. You've got someone here sitting with some cash. This guy sitting with the cash say, "Oh, I'll buy this many shares of the business," but you've got to cut a deal with the creditors to say we're only going to pay them X pennies, X cents in the dollar, right? And then I'll take over the business. They can do that, right?
But my point is the outcome of that is that people who are owed money don't get paid, right?
Always,
yeah. So, but that's not good. That's not good for the industry, is it? Like it's
no, of course not.
Real bad for the industry.
But that's business too. That happens in all sorts of businesses, just not just craft beer.
True.
And this is not the last VA that's going to happen. And I'd probably, I'd happy to take an under over that this is not the last VA that happens in Southeast Queensland in 2023.
Oh, no way. I think we predicted. Did we do a predictions on this? Maybe not so much, but
no,
we predicted turbulent times ahead.
Yeah. And so, look, the thing is, right, is I'm looking at the bloody, the thing that stressful for everybody, right? And the people who I feel for the most right now would be the staff, right?
100%.
Who have, lots of the staff who have probably been there for quite a long time, many years and that sort of thing, put a lot of effort into the business. And right now, who knows if they're even got a job.
Yeah, well, you'd hope, and I hope, and, I think everyone would hope that what you just described will happen because, this is a really fucking strong Queensland craft beer brand. It's one of the biggest and most established independent kind of brands. You would hope that they rescue the brand and they've got awesome assets at the brewery to make the beer, and you would hope there's an administrator can see the ability to make a profitable business out of a good brand and a good set of equipment, and if that happens, the staff still have jobs, and that's the outcome that everyone would hope for.
Yes,
and I guess,
but the question is, do they have jobs right now?
Yeah, well, how does that work? What happens?
Well, there's nothing stopping an administrator saying, "See you later."
Yeah.
All right. And that is a reality because
do normal employment laws apply at that point? You can't just people just leave
Not really. I don't think so.
That's legal advice. Let's not.
Yeah, I don't want to do legal advice, but I would probably say that it would be well within an administrator's power to be able to stand staff down to conserve cash in the short term, right?
Yeah.
Which is a reasonable thing to do of the administrator. They've got to act in the interest of the business and the creditors and all that sort of stuff, and I get that, right? But I sincerely hope that the staff who are, I hope that the staff that are there are okay and have not found themselves in a situation where they suddenly don't have an income. Because that would be very, very concerning.
They must be shitting themselves. I mean, it's terrible.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Right. And so the thing that really concerns me about that, that's just me. I just care about the workers and stuff like that. I sincerely hope that no one's lost their job and everyone's still at least getting paid while they could go and sort all this shit out and that sort of thing. And but if not, that would be of quite a bit of concern, right? Because one of the shareholders of the business is a much larger entity, right? Who how are they doing, old mate?
Mighty Craft.
Mighty Craft. How are they doing for cash?
I mean, they're not jumping in to save Ballistic, obviously, but
no, well, this is exactly right.
Yeah.
So what should they do in this situation?
Well, they own 10%. I think it's fair to say, like what we've said the whole time in this show, is that like their strategy early on was not the right one, and for the last year or two that they haven't doubled down on that. They haven't taken more equity in these brands that they took a little bit of equity in, and they're probably not going to do it now. It wouldn't make sense for them.
No, that's right. Now. Yeah. So it kind of leads to founders, Mighty Craft, giving potentially, if it turns out to be that way, potentially giving some workers the shaft.
Well, they're not giving any. Well, sorry, say that again.
Well, okay, so if you've got a bigger entity, right? And I'm just talking about being a good person, right? So you got a minor shareholder in this business that has much bigger resources, right? That has that's suddenly where there's the potential for a lot of workers to suddenly have no income, and I get it, it's business and all that sort of stuff, but it just doesn't leave. It has the potential to leave people in not a very good place, particularly workers.
100%. But what are you suggesting?
And there's no duty of care on Mighty Craft whatsoever to give a fuck about these workers or anything like that. They don't have to, right? Because they're just along for the ride.
But
you know what I mean?
But they're a shareholder that own 10%. It's not like they own a portion of the business at the point. I mean, look, if like they made redundancies last year and no one even talked about it.
Yeah.
And if you're in a business and structurally it doesn't make sense anymore, you have to make redundancies.
Yeah.
This is 10% of their business. It's not.
Yeah.
They're not a significant shareholder, even though
I get it.
A bigger company.
I get it. And their focus is on other brands within their portfolio and that sort of thing, and
they've got to protect the interests of their creditors and their investors.
And absolutely.
Business is fucking hard.
Yeah, I get it. 100% get it. But then there's the whole be a half decent corporate citizen as well. But I guess maybe that doesn't extend in a lot of cases in business and that sort of thing. So,
yeah, but I mean, in this case, I feel like you're being harsh. If you own 10% of something, it's not their job to come in and rescue it. Like that would put all of their other brands.
I'm not saying that they should rescue it. That's not my point. My point is do they care about the inspired unemployed or actual unemployed?
Oh, Hendo, that was
my point.
Soundbite you did there.
Yes.
All right.
Do you see what I mean now?
I'll pay that.
All right.
Yeah.
That's that would be my concern. Now, everything that we've just spoken about is just, I don't know what's happening, but I've just sort of had a bit of a think about some of the scenarios in my head, and I just sincerely hope that it just doesn't work out that way.
Oh, 100%. I think it'd be terrifying for staff. I agree with you 100% when it comes to staff going through that, but I don't agree that it's a Mighty Craft issue. I think that's unfair.
100% agree. But there's certainly the potential for a bit of a PR faux pas.
Oh, you think? Okay, you think it could become an uninspired, unemployed type situation, like a headline type thing?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I just sincerely hope that they sort this out. It's only happened today. Who knows? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we always hear rumors about this kind of stuff happening, and I just think like, what's ultimately going to happen if like all the things we thought would be true about this industry turned out to be false, and we all just end up working for Lion Nathan and Asahi? Like what?
At least they'll give me a steady paycheck, mate.
Exactly. Like that's kind of like, if you think it through enough steps, it's kind of where it ends up. Like that's why people complain when these companies sell out and the whole craft of the whole thing dies and these good companies die off, because we just go back to how it was before, and
Yeah,
people had a steady paycheck, but the fucking magic that we had was not around. So
yeah.
that's kind of where it's headed.
It's not all doom and gloom, mate.
No, but I think
It
Ballistic are a
is.
big brand. Like it's not like they've done a bad job really at anything. Like, they've always been
No.
up there. They've had the Hawaiian Haze thing with pretty early, and that really helped their business. They've had a well-known brand. They had really great brewers. They had a really good site, and it wasn't like over-capitalized in terms of equipment or anything. They were pretty early with cans. Good brand. Like they've done it. They've done everything pretty fucking well. A lot of tap rooms. A lot of the hospo stuff was done pretty well. So it's not like they're just a shitty brand that have just fucked up. They're a good bunch.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. And and the same as what happened with Easy Times. Who went into VA 5 weeks, restructured, come out of it, the other end and that sort of thing. Hopefully stronger, and that'll sort of play out, over the coming months, that sort of thing. And I sincerely hope that the same happens to Ballistic as well.
I hope so too. I just think it's a very different business, very different. Like Easy Times is
for sure
a bar that produces some of the alcohol. As far as I know, like I don't think I'm not that close to them there, but I don't think they wholesale a lot of beer. I think it's a high turnover hospo venue that produces beer on site.
Yeah,
very, very different to a beer brand. I think it'd be, yeah. Easy Times one's kind of made sense because you could get a bunch of people to come in and buy some equity, own a bar, and it's a good venue. Good, like they should be able to make money with that business, like
for sure.
Yeah, Ballistic. It gets so big that it'd be tough.
Indeed. This beer is growing on me.
Okay.
It gets better the more you drink it.
Can I ask?
You shouldn't judge a lager by its first sip, rather your fourth pint.
How many you got?
Just one, maybe two. I think I got two.
Can I get just one bit of Dulux advice just before we move on?
Yeah, please.
So I put a wall in my backyard, right?
Yep.
And it's a rendered wall. It's around the pool, and I want it to look like all living the dream, white and all that kind of shit.
Right.
I painted my house Lexicon, right?
Yep.
Because I was told that Lexicon half would be too bright.
Yep.
I've regretted the decision for a while, and then I was kind of like, actually, maybe it was the right call, because when it gets pounded by the sun, it's pretty fucking bright. We look out of this kitchen straight at this wall.
Yep.
So I'm also nervous about being bright, but at the same time, I often look at my house and think my house is fucking grey.
Yeah, well, Lexicon is grey.
Exactly. So my question is, if I was to be consistent with the rest of the house, I would paint the wall Lexicon.
Right.
But should I be inconsistent with the house because I think I made the wrong call on the exterior of the house and I want it to be half?
Yes.
And should I paint the wall half? Or should I just be consistent and paint it Lexicon?
Mate, if you want to be inconsistent, paint it fucking hog bristle.
No, I'm not painting it hog bristle. I know that is not happening.
Okay. So see, I'm beginning to consider myself a bit of a white paint expert. But I think that the extent of my skill set is limited to interior paint, and not exterior paint.
Exterior is not your strong point. That's fair.
No. And so
but my exterior is half Lexicon. So if you're inside the house looking at the outside of the house, you've got half Lexicon inside the house, and then ceiling white.
Yep.
So it's kind of it's an interior exterior situation.
Yep. Yep. You've made all the right moves so far, and I trust your judgment fully as to what you choose to do next. Why don't you do a mural or some shit?
No, it's got to be white. It's got to look like, like coastal boho type design with like fucking, straw and white shit and that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Fuck, sounds boring.
Yeah, I've had that feedback, but that's what I want. So
yeah, okay. Well, hey, yeah. Respect, mate. Respect.
I think I'm going to go the half. That's
okay.
Partly because I want it to be more white, partly because I want the 12 to be happy. And I thought that's what you would want as well, but it doesn't.
Do you know what it's going to be like, right? And I think that this is not a bad thing. Do you know how, like, you see the old episodes of MASH where they're like sunbaking and they've got that mirrored thing under their chin?
Right.
That could be your pool area.
See, I'm concerned about that too.
Mm.
You mean
just
it's
wear sunscreen?
Too bright, right?
Just wear sunscrreen. You'd be fine.
Yeah, see, there's downsides to that too. I'm learning a lot about pool ownership. Have you owned a pool before?
Nah, not one that I had to maintain.
It's fun. It's fucked. It's fucked.
I've heard that owning a pool and owning a boat are both fucked.
Oh yeah. The pool shop guy told me. He's like, I was like, what do I do with like my pool? Because they filled it up and just left. And then he's like, I've worked here for 10 years. Like, I would never buy a pool. I'm like, you're the pool shop guy. Like, that's fucking the worst advice ever.
Wow. I'd be like, shut up and shut up and take my money, because I'd be like, fuck, man, at least you're honest.
100%. He's very honest. Yeah. Yep. Yesterday we had a massive storm and the neighbor's house ran off and my pool just got completely filled with sand. So I've spent a lot of this afternoon trying to pump sand out of my pool. I had to get my mate Krugs in, the plumber, to add some valves to the fucking system so I could pump water out of the pool down the drain with all the dirt in it. It's a fucking shit show. It's very, very.
Don't you have a filter?
Yeah, but it was like literally like the bottom of the pool was like that.
Oh shit!
Cartridge filter that you have to hose off, and you'd be doing every 3 seconds if you did it like that. It was a absolute shit show. Yeah. So yeah, don't buy a pool.
Okay.
Yeah, or move to a unit where it's someone else's problem. And also, don't the reason I brought this up, don't put sun cream on. Don't piss in the pool. Don't do anything. Don't let it rain in the pool. Don't do any of those things, because as soon as any of that happens, don't let the leaves fall in there, dirt in there, fucks up everything. You have to go back to the pool shop, put other shit in there. It's a fucking nightmare.
What about dog?
What do you mean, dog in the pool or just dog generally?
Yeah. Dog in the pool.
Don't ever let a dog in the pool. No way.
Do you let your dog in the pool?
Oh, fuck no. That's the worst idea ever.
Has Elon ever jumped in there?
No, Elon is very, very confused about the pool.
Huh.
Yeah, like we'll go in the pool and we'll go underwater and he'll freak the fuck out because he thinks you're dead. And he'll run up and down the pool barking. He thinks you're dead. So I have to keep him inside. And then the pool is right next to the window to the main bit of the house. So he'll just stare at you the entire time. He doesn't know what's happening.
Oh, what a champion.
Yeah. Don't get a dog, don't get a pool. But
rightio.
There you go. All right. So half lexicon. The 12 want to weigh in on what color I should paint it.
Rightio. What do they say?
No, they didn't. I'm just saying if you do. All right. You sent me this, Hendo. Beer Reflections Hottest 100 Predictions.
Oh, yeah.
What's this Beer Reflections thing?
Have you seen that article, that page?
Yeah.
It's like some really awesome charting of different of the hottest 100 over since 2008 and where the beers have come from and how that's changed over time. Just stats, mate. Stats.
I love line charts. Line charts are one of my favorite things.
They're great because you can just see how things are going over time. And,
yeah, well, I like the Queensland one is weighted towards a couple of breweries, isn't it? But it's really gone up a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's some really good stats in there. Like I love the Beachy Pale stats. Just been around forever.
Yeah.
Since 2013, it's been sort of around in the top 20. It hasn't fallen out of the top 20. Only a line chart will tell you that.
So wait, where are you looking at? So it's got specific beers. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Just go to the Beachy Pale chart.
Oh, the chart for each. Oh, okay.
Isn't that cool?
What's going on with? Oh, there we go. Oh, I see.
And you see my pick for number one this year, Larry.
Yeah,
still on the upward trend.
that's true.
That's why I picked Larry as number one.
Yeah,
because it is trending upwards, and it just seems not logical that it continues to trend upwards.
Yep, it's a good pick. You won't be right because I'll be right, but that's fine. It's a good pick.
Okay.
What's that other yellow one though? That's Macca.
The good one there to see the stakes as well since 2008, and you can see that Victoria's is in decline, trending down. Queensland is trended up and then plateaued since 2019.
Yeah.
What's that red line? New South Wales has managed to stay pretty consistent and trended down. ACT on the up and plateaued.
That's Crankshaft and Capital. They're massive.
Yes, but plateaued.
Well, you can't go anywhere from fucking number one.
And I think that's number of beers in the hottest 100. So,
Capital had like the most.
Oh, they had heaps. But you've got Queensland, who's currently as of last year, holds the most number of places in the hottest 100 and with around 30.
Where are you looking at for that stat?
That's near the top. That's just below the pie chart.
Let me have a look at that.
The one that's in the section labeled.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Good stats, good line chart.
So Victoria's second and New South Wales third, WA. Yeah, wow, interesting.
But look at the trends. The trends are fascinating, state by state.
So what did you read the predictions in here? There's like status.
I don't need to read predictions. I just know that Larry's going to get number one.
Yeah, Better Beer, I think they mentioned as a favourite. I feel like I'm definitely.
What state is that from? Is it Victoria?
Torquay Brewing.
Who even knows?
Torquay's in Victoria, isn't it?
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, I'm going to drink another one of these. Sundancer.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed the last one.
Oops. Nice.
This beer smells amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. Hey, I
just put my nose over the top of it and I can smell all of the passion fruit. It's delicious.
Yeah, nice.
Good old hop man.
It's first Black Ops sponsored beer of the show, is it? I think, other than Grodzitsky.
Yeah, good beer. Good beer. Well done.
I've got the wait a second. Where is it? The No Worries Nipa.
Is that another one of Boags?
Social Brewers. Yep.
Oh, god damn, that beer is so good.
Well, that smells good. Looks good too.
Oh, really?
Color of that.
That's good hazy.
Oh shit, that just spilled on my computer. Whoops. Hang on. Wasn't the beer, it was the condensation from the glass. It's just like
yeah.
I've got
you'll have to get another laptop that'll make it 2 in 1 year.
No, I've got normally I have the half lexicon coasters that Paul made us and they absorb some of the liquid. But tonight I don't. I've just got the flat plastic ones that don't absorb the liquid and now you're seeing the results.
You fucked up.
I fucked up. I take responsibility. We're not going to talk until the hottest 100 because it's happening this weekend.
That's right. What are you going to do for it?
Well, we've actually got we'll do something at every venue, but we've got a bigger size party at BH2 with a big outdoor area and stuff. So that'll be cool. But yeah, we didn't talk about this before the show, but we probably should have done like a proper prediction with top fives and whatnot. But I guess we've said what we think is going to happen.
I think we've already said what our thoughts are for it.
That's fair.
I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, you've put something in here. What's this one?
Yeah. I just wanted to shout out to an old podcast episode that I listened to today. So because I'm back at TAFE, I drove to work and I can only listen to podcasts when I drive. I don't even listen to our podcast.
No, don't listen to ours. That'd be weird.
Nah, especially not field trip. Fuck that. I just had to turn it off. I was so embarrassed.
Nah, it's fine.
Anyway, Beer and Brewing podcast, episode 44, with the two owners of Bierstadt Lagerhaus. Highly recommend. It blew my mind today, that podcast. So that was recommended to me by Steve Brockman from Bright Star Brewing, one of the best breweries in Australia, in my opinion. And he posted in my Facebook group for Rockstar about that episode. And I went, well, if Steve's going to recommend that, then I'm going to listen to that episode. And so I listened to that episode, and it's only a couple of times in my life have I been truly inspired about brewing, listening to some people, and that was one of them today. Right?
So these guys are from
Denver. Yeah.
He's wearing a Burley Brewing t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. If I made beers like him, then I'd be mates with Brendan Fielding as well.
That's fair.
Right.
That's cool.
And so the way these guys spoke about beer and brewing and their enjoyment of beer, and this is a brewery. So Bierstadt Lagerhaus is a brewery that just makes lagers, right? And that's it. Just the way that they think about that, like that, you know, they go, well, we make like a Helles, right? And there's not much that you can change with regards to the recipe of a Helles,
right?
But what it is, it's Helles is a beer that's about the process. It's not about getting the beer 100% right. It's about getting 100 things 1% better, and that's how you make a really good Helles. And I went, fuck, that's absolutely right. And then what's his name? Bill I. He sort of said, I find it really boring when I sort of sit down with people to drink beer and they talk about beer, right? And they go, and he said it in a really interesting way. Just to paraphrase, he sort of said, I just get really bored when people are talking about beer whilst they're drinking beer, going, oh, is that Citra hop? Is that Mosaic hop? And all that sort of stuff. He said, I just find that really boring. The reason why we make beer is because it's something that you make for people to drink so they can forget about stuff and talk about other things like, how are your friends? How's your family? Did you go on a holiday? All that sort of stuff, right? And I just went, I just went, holy shit, that's how I feel sometimes, you know? Like, I don't mind talking about beer. I fucking love the stuff, right? But sometimes I like to drink beer and not talk about beer.
100%.
In fact, often I like to drink beer and not talk about beer.
Yeah.
And that's my genuine enjoyment of it, right? And so, like, I still consider myself to be a beer geek in some respects. I'm not very closed. I don't think I'm closed-minded. You know, I'm always prepared to try new styles, and I like enjoying a wide, diverse range of styles.
Are you rage quitting from being a beer geek? Is that what's happening?
No, not at all. No, I'm not a beer geek, but just not that beer geek that goes, oh my God, is that Citra or is that Mosaic? You know,
yeah, 100%.
So they've all got fucking Citra and Mosaic, right? And so, yeah, I thought that was a really interesting episode. So we'll leave a link to that in the old show notes and that sort of thing. Go listen to it. So the other time that I felt truly inspired, like someone spoke about beer the way that I think about beer, is if you go onto YouTube and go and watch the Michael Jackson Beer Hunter Discovery TV series from 1989. The first episode, Michael Jackson, not the dancer, the beer writer.
Right. Wait, Michael Jackson's a dancer?
Yeah.
You didn't dance just then.
No, but I did a hee. And so Michael Jackson, the beer writer, right?
I figured that part out, yes.
And the first episode was called, I think it was called A California Pilgrimage, and they went to Anchor Brewery. And Fritz Maytag, that guy thinks about beer the way that I think about beer. Right? Talks about it. You know, I think he said in the episode, because he owned a couple of wineries as well, and he said wine is like painting with oils, and beer is like painting with watercolors. Right? In that, you know, like with wine, you grow the grapes and then you crush the grapes and then you ferment it and then you might put it in one barrel and put it in another barrel. leave it for a few years, and then you might think about, you put it in a bottle, and then you might think about drinking it a few years later and that sort of thing, right?
It's more of a delicate sort of thing.
Well, it's just, it's oils, right? But beer is like, you brew it, you ferment it, you package it, and you drink it.
The
process is so much simpler. And the beer is just, beer, common to Ashley Carter and Bill I, as well as Fritz Maytag, is they both share that opinion as beer's just something that you just enjoy with company of good people.
So is then seltzer then just NFTs?
Fucking hell, Dan, I'm trying to say something deep here.
Sorry. You set me up, okay.
So go listen to that show. Go and watch the Beer Hunter, Michael Jackson, the Beer Hunter, on I think they're on YouTube. It's well worth it. Well worth it.
Nice.
Good people.
Very good.
I would like to go there now.
I love those American fucking TV shows where they just go to loads of places and talk about how they make shit, like the food ones. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
America's awesome. I mean, a lot of bad shit, but I want to go back to America so bad. Maybe this year for the conference, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. I got invited to go and judge in Korea today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, do you know how bad luck happens in threes?
Okay.
It does, doesn't it?
Well, good things happen in threes as well, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but bad luck happens in threes. Anyway, Mazen called me 3 times this week.
He called me 3 times today.
Did he? Called me twice.
I called him back. I wasn't being an asshole. I just had other calls and it just didn't work out for whatever reason.
Oh, did he fucking gasbag on about his Citra fucking single origin series?
No. Wait, say that again.
So Mazen Hawkins has done this, which I think I saw the cans on Instagram and it didn't quite click as to what exactly they'd done. So what Hawkers have done is they've made 3 IPAs, 3 Citra single hop IPAs, where the Citra has come from different locations in North America. Oh, nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
And so single origin Citra. You couldn't tell from the tin. So thank God Mazen called me fucking 3 times. And I went, oh, wow, that sounds really interesting. Because it's like, Citra's just not Citra, and it's probably one of the most commonly used hops,
almost
in Australia.
Like hop selection for beer drinkers.
Well, exactly. And people just go, oh, it's Citra. Well, and he raises a very interesting point. Which Citra is it?
Yeah.
And so hopefully I had a bit of a look down into the street today to see if they had it, and they didn't have it. So hopefully I'll manage to stumble across some in the next few days. It would be nice to try those beers.
Why don't you send us some sponsored beers, Mazen? Like you did do that.
I asked.
You did that back in the day when we were part of your crew. Like,
no, I asked.
Maybe you should answer the phone calls, man. Oh no!
If you do end up talking to him,
no, I will.
See if we can't get some. Get a little bit of.
Yep. See what happens.
Yeah. For next week's
cold room. Boags shut down their tour, an on-site bar in Launceston, and I went there a couple of months ago, and I'm bummed about it because it was pretty fucking fun.
How big's the brewery down there? I've never been to Tasmania.
Oh yeah, well we went to Tassie's awesome.
I would go.
So awesome, dude.
I'd like to go ride my motorbike around Tasmania.
Oh man, I mean, I shouldn't even say that because all I've been to is Hobart for 24 hours, and Launceston we went down 6 months ago for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was just fucking awesome. But yeah, I went to the Boags brewery, big brewery, big massive bottling line. Big by our standards, not big by like Lion Nathan CB kind of standards, but cool tour. Like it was sort of weird doing it as someone who owns a brewery because they're giving you all these beers that are kind of like they're like, this is the malt and this is the hops, and it's like you're just tasting a beer that kind of tastes oxidized and it's old. You're drinking it out of a bottle, but the experience was fucking awesome, and the tour was really legit. Like they had the little headset thing, and you went through, and it was cool. I was happy to do it.
Which language did you go?
I don't know what that means.
Which language?
English.
Oh, not Spanish.
Was that an option?
Did you ask?
No, but the tour lady, like, I feel like she probably would have been able to do it in multiple. She was like proper honed in. She was like, her photo was in the article about them shutting it down. Like, she was really onto it. Then you got to go to the bar at the end, and you'd sit down in a little bar, and they'd come out, bring you one beer, and then bring you another one. There's no one else there because like no one's going there. It was like upstairs. It was just a cool beer experience that doesn't exist anymore. Bummer.
Yeah.
And Boags is a big beer for me in terms of my beer journey too. It's like
your beer journey,
almost number one. It's up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that your posh beer back in the day before you discovered craft beer?
No, it was my first probably the first beer I ever had that I noticed flavors that I hadn't noticed in other beers, and I was like, it was the start of the beer journey.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
awesome.
Like now when I drink it, I don't get that, but back in the day, it was like this beer tastes different to other beers, and
you got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah,
that's good. I'll never get to experience it unless they open it up again.
Yeah, it's a bummer. All right. So other news is also bad in terms of closing things down. Our episode, Boston the Brewer, episode number 54, Hendo's Rocky Field Trip, Bonza Dogs, Polyamorous Ketaminefuelled Startups has been taken
copyright strike
from YouTube.
Okay, so we got a copyright strike. Have you appealed?
I fucking tried. We tried it the other day. It didn't work.
No. So once you get the copyright strike, then you can appeal.
All right, let's do it right now. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, please. So you because what you did is you reached out. Did those 15 minutes of fame people reply?
No, it bounced.
It bounced.
Bounced like 50 times.
Well, then you're going to need to demonstrate that to YouTube to say, hey, which part was infringing? Thanks, mate.
So this is the Gmail. This is the takedown notice. Look at that bounce. That's a bounce notice. Bounce. Like all of them bounce. It's like it kept coming back. Bounce. And then we got this one. Video's been taken down. View details is the only option we get. We'll click on that.
Go on then. Yeah, we got a copyright strike. This is bad, man.
It's all right. Okay, your video's removed due to copyright takedown request. Copyright.
Yeah, go to review details.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. One copyright strike.
Yes. So what you can do now is you can request a retraction.
Ashton Kutcher. Oh,
there you go. Now they're telling us what it is.
Ashton Kutcher turns Frank Walker from National Tiles into an sensation. Oh, no. Oh, come on.
All right, then. So, and this is the shitty thing about it, is you don't know this until you get the copyright strike.
This is stupid. This is like the copyright stuff now, like on TikTok. This is a TikTok video. Like sharing other people's videos and talking about their videos is almost all of TikTok.
Right.
That's what everyone does.
Have a look at this, right? Have you got the original? Have you got the original video file, or you should actually still be able to see it? Don't replay it because we've got another fucking copyright strike. But you can see here it's got the timestamp: 11 minutes 17 to 12 minutes and 9 seconds.
Where are you looking?
We're down there. It says Boston the Brewer, episode 54, published 16th of November. Content.
11. Okay, so that's
right. That's the timestamp.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So what you got to do, right, is if you've got a local copy of the video, just go and review it, right? So if you have a look at select action there, you can try it. You can submit a counter notification.
Let's do it.
Right. You've already tried to contact them. But
I didn't do it through YouTube. We emailed them, which is never
emailed them, yeah. But I would actually don't even bother. Yeah, see, you've already done that. Can't email them.
Okay.
So submit a counter notification.
Let's do it. Beginning a legal process. Jesus Christ, Hendo. This is legal advice you're giving me right now.
Yeah.
I'm fucking doing it. Continue.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, boss.
No, you got to use your real name, mate. It's a legal thing.
Well, I'm using your name then. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if we should fight this fight, Hendo.
Well, what you can do, right, is actually before you go and do that, fill it out. There'll be a link there. Don't do it on the screen, mate, because you're about to put your personal information on there.
That's fine.
But if you go back to your
been over the internet since like 1995. It's fine.
But the thing is, right, is that have a look at the YouTube advice there, because there are instances of fair use. We did not take that video and play that video and claim it as our own. No, we were doing a reaction to it, and that is fair use.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and so what you do is you'll basically put in a counterclaim that says there was fair use. We were doing a reaction to it.
Let's do it right now. Well, I'm not going to do it now. Okay.
Or go to copyright school.
I get. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. We'll do. I'll do that.
Actually, did you go back? Did you see that? It said attend copyright school for your copyright strike to expire.
Let's do it. All right.
You definitely don't want 3 strikes, mate. So
you should ask permission on. Okay. Copyright school. Okay. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm not doing that right now because. Yeah, I've got a barbecue to attend. I've got this on my screen. I will do it tomorrow. But before we go, let me see if I got any little bites in the group because we got to do the 12 questions.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be like pretty close to 0 questions because I didn't think up a fun idea for 12 questions. But if we get any, I'm about to fire them at you.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What are we working with here? 12 comments. Brilliant. Love that. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Okay. Steve York.
Right.
Can you answer these questions? 3. Question mark. Jesus Christ. That makes no sense.
Fuck. Jesus Christ.
1. How did Hendo get expelled in year 1?
Is that it? Is that the question?
That's the question.
So I got expelled in grade 1.
This is going to have to be quick. Okay.
Yeah, because I went on a wild stomach punching rampage during little lunch.
Oh.
And so so I was a very naughty little kid and probably should have been kept down. And so I was on this behavior management thing because I wasn't a particularly good kid. And my parents threatened to send me to the convent. And then one day I just decided to go on a wild stomach punching rampage at little lunch. And by the end of little lunch, just like an episode of The Simpsons, there's just children strewn across the whole fucking playground, just slumped over, just in pain.
Well,
then my parents sent me to the convent
on this podcast.
Oh, well, I was young and stupid, and I'm much more mature now, and would never do anything like that.
No, okay. Well, that was a very weird question and an equally weird answer.
Someone's listened very closely to the last episode.
Louis G, what the fuck happened to episode 54? Well, we're working on it.
Well, we know. Chill.
Why didn't you give the middle finger to those idiots who don't deserve to share this planet? A lot of violence in these comments.
Yeah, chill out, 12.
Chill out, everyone. Have a beer.
Yeah.
Don't focus on the hops, focus on the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Louis G, question 3. Why do you think your 12 best favorite supporter is a troll? Or is it just the byproduct of ChatGPT and Cortana? Skip?
I think Louis G's had enough to drink for today.
Topic number 2, hog's bristle. Is it hog's bristle or hog bristle?
Hog bristle.
It's hog bristle, isn't it? So that's a punctuation issue, or that's a grammatical issue.
Correct.
But that's from Paul. So Paul Metcalf, he's done topic number 2 with a capital N and a dot after number, a space and then a colon, lowercase hogs bristle and no ending. Like that's an atrocious he's fan of the year for 2022, but that's fucking atrocious.
Yeah, okay.
Adam Shell, if you also have a gluten intolerance diagnosis, what would you drink instead?
Wine.
Just do it anyway and just deal with the
Jack Daniels. I drink Jack Daniels.
Okay. Seltzer?
If I got a fuck that shit. If I got a celiac diagnosis tomorrow, I'd be okay. Jack Daniels.
Yeah, gluten intolerance, like a lot of beer, is virtually gluten-free. I feel like
virtually, yes. It depends. It's a very
if
complicated.
you're celiac and you're going to get real sick, then no. But
of course.
a little bit intolerant, most craft beer, other than like this one probably not so much. That one's probably got gluten in it, but
yeah, gluten at the wazoo, mate.
Drink the clear beers and you'll be sweet.
Drink the Jack Daniels.
This is not medical advice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more. Darren Gittins, is the idea of national craft collaborative groups now dead? Was it a bad idea to begin with, given the whole hyper-local vibe?
National craft what groups?
National craft collaborative groups. Like, I think he's saying it's the idea of a mighty craft or a good
tribe
or a tribe or a fermentum.
Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
That manages lots of little brands. Is that
no, absolutely not.
Elaborate.
No. Well, because there's always going to be consolidation in the market.
Yeah.
That's just business, right? And it's wishful thinking to think otherwise, and so I think that we'll see more consolidation in the market going forward, not less. Not in the way that it's been in the last sort of 5 years with, CUB or Lion buying out breweries, but might see it more in the middle tier, and that sort of thing.
I think it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to have, like you drive along the highway and it's like Byron Bay Brewery and it's Great Northern Brewery, and it's like none of these places are breweries.
Yeah.
Same but as they're all brands. It doesn't really make a lot
exactly.
of sense.
There's the perception of hyperlocal, and then there's actually hyperlocal. And most consumers don't know the fucking difference, and they're oblivious to it and they don't care.
But generally in a business, you wouldn't want to have 50 brands. Like, there'd be no advantage to having 50 brands. You'd want to have one brand. Wouldn't you agree? Like, the best businesses in the world, they have one brand.
No, not necessarily, but not with things like beer when you've got to have some element of being local or the perception of being local. And Great Northern do that so well. It's just
bullshit, though.
But of course, but people just gravitate towards something that they feel local and attached to. Like, Great Northern have just been a massive success in that regard. That whether you're in Cairns or whether you're in fucking Hobart, it's always the beer from up here. And you feel, and most of the general population feels a fucking sense of affiliation with that.
Yeah, so it's a marketing exercise. It's not a...
Yeah, exactly. You could be in fucking Antarctica and they'd still put a billboard up that said the beer from up here, and there'd be people going, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink that in Antarctica, though. That'd be fucking bullshit. You want to drink the whiskey?
Jack Daniels.
What's the Jack Daniels and hot toddy? What's that? Like a coffee and Jack Daniels or something like that?
Just Jack Daniels and Coke Zero, mate. That's it.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'm out. I got to barbecue.
Go and barbecue. Go spend time with your family, for fuck's sake.
See you next week, mate. See you next week.